A car that costs less than an iPhone lineup and could rewrite the future of driving. In 2018, BYD sold just 100,000 electric cars. 6 years later, over 1.7 million. And in 2024, they did the unthinkable. They outpaced Tesla. The Chinese EV scene is exploding. Sleeker, faster, cheaper. And standing at the center of this revolution is one name: BYD. Imagine a world where gas stations are relics, where a $4,999 car challenges Tesla's crown, where the balance of power in the auto industry tilts overnight. Sound impossible? Then brace yourself, because BYD isn't just competing, they're winning. Now here's the twist. BYD claims to have a car that can travel 2,000 kilometers without a single recharge or a drop of gas. Sounds impossible, right? Or is it the start of a game-changing revolution? This is a company that started small, making low-cost batteries before rising to become Tesla's fiercest rival. Backed by Warren Buffett himself, BYD CEO just pulled the curtain on a new EV priced at only $4,999, a full car for less than the cost of an iPhone lineup. But can it really deliver on speed, style, and quality? Stick with us, because we're about to unpack BYD's boldest move yet and why this budget-friendly machine could shake the entire EV world. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the stories reshaping tech and transport. Here's what makes BYD unstoppable. While Tesla and Mercedes fight for the luxury crowd, BYD's strategy is simple: affordability. And it's working. In just 3 months last year, they sold 526,000 electric cars, outrunning Tesla and shipping to over 60 countries. At the helm is founder and CEO Wang Chuanfu, a man with one mission: make high-quality EVs for ordinary people. His approach has transformed BYD into a global favorite, and their latest star proves it: the Seagull EV Honor Edition. Picture this: a sleek 5-door hatchback priced so low it threatens to spark a price war with gasoline itself. Why fuel up when you can drive electric for less? And here's the kicker: the Seagull isn't just cheap. They call it the mini Lamborghini, styled by Wolfgang Egger, a former Lamborghini designer. Inside, you'll find a rotating 10.1-inch infotainment screen powered by BYD's D-Link system, blending style and tech in one. And with battery options giving up to 252 miles per charge, this isn't a budget car, it's a bold statement. The BYD Seagull isn't just another budget EV, it's a game-changer, sending shockwaves through the auto world. While most cheap electrics settle for cramped 3-door setups, this little beast comes as a full 5-door hatchback, comfortably seating 4. Light on its wheels at just 1,488 kilograms, the Seagull cuts a sleek silhouette. Sharp lines, angled headlights, a sloping roof, and rear lights tied together by a futuristic light bar. Step inside, and it gets smarter. BYD stretched the wheelbase-to-length ratio to an impressive 66%, outpacing even their Dolphin model, and slipped in a thinner battery to unlock extra cabin space. The dashboard, shaped like the wings of its namesake, spreads out in a stylish 2-tone design. Up front, a 10.1-inch rotatable touchscreen and a crisp 5-inch digital display put control right where you need it. And it's not just about looks. Safety is stitched into every detail. 6 airbags, rear disc brakes, electronic parking brake, stability control, and a frame built with 61% high-strength steel. Tough where it counts, refined everywhere else. Since its grand debut at Auto Shanghai, the Seagull has been on fire. 10,000 orders in a single day. 200,000 cars built in just 7 months. Priced at around $12,200, and even cheaper with the new Honor Edition's 5% cut, it's no wonder the streets of China are filling fast with this sleek little EV. The new ice blue exterior with a sea blue interior only sweetens the deal. And right now, picture yourself standing next to it, a fully electric ride that's stylish, affordable, and offered in 3 flavors to fit your life. The Vitality Edition, perfect for quick city hops, with a 190-mile range, like LA to San Diego in one go. the Freedom Edition for smoother commutes with added comfort, and the Flying Edition, stretching to 252 miles, enough to glide from New York to DC without a single recharge. When it comes to safety, BYD doesn't cut corners. 6 airbags, rear disc brakes, electronic stability control, and a frame forged with 61% high-strength steel, all working together to keep you secure on the road. Since its big reveal at Auto Shanghai, the Seagull has been unstoppable. 10,000 orders in a single day, 200,000 units built in just 7 months, and a 2024 Honor Edition priced under $12,200, now dressed in an ice blue finish with a sea blue interior. The result? BYD sold 280,000 Seagulls last year alone, leaving rivals gasping for air. And the momentum is spreading. The Dolphin Mini just landed in Brazil at $20,000, taking the fight global. No wonder Ford CEO Jim Farley is sweating. He's already warned that Chinese EVs like BYD could strip 20 to 30% of automakers' revenue. That pressure has Ford scrambling to rush out its own low-cost EV platform. But while Detroit panics, BYD is climbing higher. They're not just conquering the budget market, they're pushing into luxury with the $233,000 Yangwang U9 supercar and SUVs like the Sea Lion 07 and Song L, each one aimed squarely at Tesla's Model Y. And driving this empire is Wang Chuanfu, BYD's visionary CEO, a cost-cutting genius whose brilliance even caught the eye of Charlie Munger. Munger, Warren Buffett's legendary partner, marveled at Wang's ability to examine a part in the morning and have it replicated by afternoon. He called him a rare mix of engineer and executive, someone who, in Munger's own words, outshines even Elon Musk when it comes to making things happen. It's no surprise Munger predicted BYD would rise into a massive EV powerhouse, and today that prophecy is becoming reality. Wang's journey makes it even more remarkable. Born an orphan, he built BYD from nothing into a global giant, even surpassing Tesla in China's cutthroat market. His personal story fuels his mission to make electric vehicles affordable for everyone, spreading clean mobility across the world. Take the Seagull, for example, a zippy little hatchback priced at just $9,900. Compare that to Tesla's cheapest model in China at $31,900, and the math speaks for itself. No wonder the Seagull sold over 280,000 units last year, nearly 1 in 5 of all BYD's EV sales. Affordable, reliable, and global, it's not just winning markets, it's winning hearts. BYD's story begins in 2003 when Wang Chuanfu bought a small car company called Xi'an Qinshuan. Just 2 years later, their very first model, the BYD F3, rolled onto the streets. By 2008, they were experimenting with hybrids, launching the F3 DM plug-in, and a year later the E6, their first fully electric car. But it wasn't until 2020 that things truly exploded. China's hunger for green vehicles lit the fuse, and BYD sales rocketed skyward. By 2021, they weren't just selling in China anymore. They were expanding across Europe, Southeast Asia, Oceania, and Latin America, taking their affordable EVs global. Then came the boldest move yet. In March 2022, BYD ditched gas cars entirely, betting everything on clean, new energy vehicles. And by the end of 2023, that gamble paid off. For the first time in history, BYD overtook Tesla to become the world's top seller of battery electric vehicles. Think about that, a Chinese upstart dethroning the company that had been leading since 2003. Of course, Tesla is still a giant for a reason. They proved EVs could be thrilling, reliable, even cool. The Model S set the standard for luxury electrics, while the Model 3 brought EVs to the masses. With gigafactories churning out cars, from California to a massive new one near Monterrey, Mexico, and a sprawling fast-charging network, Tesla made long-distance electric travel a reality. So when BYD surpassed them in BEV sales, it wasn't just another headline, it was a seismic shift. The secret? Affordable, quality cars, anchored by the Chinese booming EV market. Just look at the Seagull hatchback, priced at just $9,900. Compare that to Tesla's cheapest model in China at $31,900, and the choice becomes crystal clear. But here's the twist. BYD isn't only about low prices. They're pushing technology forward too. Their high-end Yangwang line recently unveiled a futuristic feature, LiDAR-powered road mapping that smooths out rides on bumps, corners, even shallow water. Wang Chuanfu didn't hesitate to say this tech outshines foreign rivals, a subtle jab at Tesla, which not long ago recalled over 360,000 vehicles for self-driving glitches. BYD isn't just catching up, they're setting the pace. The rivalry between BYD and Tesla is reaching a boiling point, and the EV battlefield has never been fiercer. Imagine it, a global race where two giants are trading blows, each move bigger than the last. Tesla isn't backing down. Elon Musk just announced a massive new factory in Shanghai dedicated to building megapacks, towering batteries the size of shipping containers, powerful enough to supply 3,600 homes with electricity for an entire hour. For China's skyrocketing energy demand, this is no small play. But while Tesla builds in BYD's backyard, BYD is striking back with something Tesla can't match: cutting-edge tech and prices low enough to rattle the industry. In 2023, BYD made history, overtaking Volkswagen to become China's #1 selling car brand, a throne Volkswagen had guarded for decades. And now, BYD sits as the third most valuable car maker on Earth. Their secret weapon? Vertical integration. Unlike most automakers, BYD controls the entire chain: batteries, motors, electronic parts, even chips. They make it all. They even own lithium mines, processing plants, and factories, keeping costs razor-sharp and flexibility unmatched. That's how they sold over 280,000 Seagull hatchbacks last year, each priced at just $9,900. When you stack that against Tesla's $31,900 entry model, the difference is staggering. And the backbone of BYD's success? Batteries. Their subsidiary, Thin Dreams Battery, is the world's second-largest EV battery producer, and their crown jewel is the Blade battery. 27 years in the making, it's changing the game. Built on lithium iron phosphate, LFP, it ditches cobalt, stays stable under extreme heat, and shrugs off brutal tests like crushing, overheating, and overcharging. No sparks, no flames, just rock-solid safety. BYD also pioneered advanced thermal management, keeping cells at the perfect temperature whether you're cruising through desert heat or winter ice. Together, these breakthroughs make the Blade battery not just a component, but the very heart of BYD's revolution. It's ultra-efficient, ultra-safe, and now standard across all their passenger cars. The result? Eco-friendly driving that isn't just possible, it's finally practical for everyone. The Blade battery isn't just safe, it's a marvel of efficiency. Delivering ranges that rival the best in the industry, it also packs 50% more space efficiency than traditional designs. Even in brutal safety tests like nail penetration, it stays calm, holding steady between 30 and 60 degrees Celsius without sparking, smoking, or failing. Proof that this battery is as safe as it is powerful. But BYD didn't stop there. With a 40,000-strong army of engineers, they're pushing the limits of what electric vehicles can be, crafting products that are not only cutting-edge, but reliable enough to drive us into a greener future. What truly sets BYD apart is control, complete control. From mining raw materials to designing, building, and even recycling, BYD is the only automaker in the world that makes its own batteries, motors, powertrains, and control systems. This vertical mastery keeps costs low, quality high, and competitors scrambling to catch up. And BYD isn't as transforming cars, they're reshaping entire cities. Their new energy vehicles stretch far beyond sedans and SUVs into buses, trucks, and fleets. In fact, they made history by launching the world's first fully electric bus network. Today, those zero-emission buses, quiet, clean, and free of gas engines or transmissions, are rolling across the globe. More than 70,000 BYD buses now operate in 70 countries and more than 400 cities. Trusted by transit systems, praised for their reliability, and loved for their eco-friendly performance, they're convincing more people every day to ditch the gas and hop on board. And the impact is staggering. Switching to BYD's buses has already slashed CO2 emissions by 11 million tons, the same as planting nearly 800 million trees. Europe is a shining example. Across 20 countries and 100 cities, 2,600 BYD buses are already running or on order. The UK alone has over 1,000, some even showcased at COP26 to highlight their role in fighting climate change. In the Nordics, more than 400 buses tackle brutal winters with ease, proving their toughness in the harshest conditions. With nearly 1.9 million electric cars and 70,000 buses built, BYD has cemented itself as a global leader in electrification, trusted, tested, and still climbing higher. BYD's advanced battery tech, especially the Blade battery, has given transit operators the confidence to ditch diesel and go electric, paving the road to cleaner cities worldwide. From millions of cars to tens of thousands of buses, BYD is proving that eco-friendly transport isn't just possible, it's already here. Across 70 countries and 400 cities, their fleet has cut CO2 emissions by 11 million tons, the same as planting nearly 800 million trees. Their commitment to sustainability is undeniable. But with such rapid rise comes a burning question. Can anyone keep pace with BYD in building a cleaner future? And just as important, can BYD itself stay ahead without stumbling? Because the journey hasn't been all smooth roads. For every success story, there have been bumps that sparked headlines. Take 2018, for example. The city of Albuquerque, New Mexico, sued BYD, claiming their electric buses suffered from shoddy welding, faulty doors, failing brakes, and batteries that didn't live up to the promise. The city argued those buses simply couldn't handle the demands of public transit. BYD denied the accusations, and while the lawsuit ended in a settlement with no money exchanged, doubts had already been raised. That same year, the Los Angeles Times reported on similar struggles. BYD buses in California stalling, underperforming, and delivering shorter ranges than advertised. For transit agencies betting on green technology, it was a disappointment that highlighted the gap between bold marketing and harsh road reality. Then in early 2023, another blow. BYD admitted some of its buses in Japan contained hexavalent chromium, a toxic chemical. The company promised to neutralize the hazard before scrapping the vehicles, but the revelation still shook confidence. For a brand that built its image on eco-friendliness, questions about environmental safety cut deep. Yet even through the controversies, BYD pressed forward. In 2019, they scored a massive deal to supply over 250 buses to the Netherlands' ESL region. But soon after, more trouble surfaced. Authorities discovered that Colis, a transport operator, had struck shady, undisclosed deals with BYD during the bidding process. Fraud, they called it. The buses stayed on the roads for a while, but by 2022, the contract was handed over to a new operator, EBS. BYD had proven it could win big, but also that even giants can stumble. When BYD's buses finally rolled onto the streets, things didn't exactly improve. Drivers and passengers reported batteries that looked full on the dashboard, only to drain without warning, stranding buses mid-route. Others complained of vehicles pulling to the right, forcing constant corrections at the wheel. Even the driver's seat was an issue, offset just enough to cause back pain during long shifts. BYD and Colis quietly agreed to share repair costs, but the details were kept under wraps, leaving a cloud of frustration. Fast forward to June 2024, and the storm hit Thailand. A customer complained after being told to rush into buying a BYD Dolphin because prices were about to rise. Weeks later, the price dropped by up to 160,000 baht. Early buyers felt duped. The backlash grew so loud that Thailand's own Prime Minister, Sretha Savisan, stepped in, speaking directly with BYD's CEO, Wang Chuanfu. Wang promised to fix the issue, but the damage was done. Trust had been shaken. And then came July. BYD's off-road brand, Fang Cheng Bao, slashed the price of its Bao 5 model by 50,000 yuan to compete with Great Wall Motors' Tank series. A bargain for new buyers, but a slap in the face for customers who had already paid full price and waited months for delivery. Furious, they hit the streets with banners, demanding justice for their loyalty. Yes, BYD remains a powerhouse, leading the charge with affordable, innovative EVs. But these episodes reveal a hard truth. As the EV industry grows, so do the challenges, not only for BYD, but for the entire auto world. And at the center of those challenges lies one critical question: repairs and trust. Here's the reality. Independent mechanics, the local shops known for fair prices and personal service, are struggling to keep up. Unlike gas cars, EVs need specialized diagnostic gear and proprietary software that small garages simply can't afford. These mechanics take pride in their craft, but without access to manufacturer data and updates, their hands are tied. The result is a shifting repair landscape that isn't always better for customers. Many end up paying higher prices at dealerships or manufacturer-approved shops, while local mechanics risk losing their livelihoods. To be fair, some EV makers, including BYD, are trying to bridge the gap by offering repair tools and manuals, but those often come with hefty fees. At the same time, EVs lean more and more on remote software updates to patch problems. Some companies even send mobile technicians directly to customers, fixing issues on the spot. Convenient, yes, but it also sidelines independent shops, tightening control in the hands of big manufacturers. The question is, what does that mean for drivers like you? Yes, remote updates and mobile technicians are convenient, but there's a catch. They risk sidelining small independent repair shops, cutting them out of the picture. Some manufacturers are teaming up with third-party partners to train and support mechanics, but the gap remains wide. And here's where the real worry creeps in. If automakers cut corners to keep costs down, quality could suffer. Cars may not last as long. Reliability could dip. And if that happens, the entire momentum of the EV revolution could slow. Because let's be real, trust and quality are everything when choosing a car. One slip, one recall too many, and buyers start to hesitate. Worse, if EVs gain a reputation for being less dependable, their resale value could collapse, leaving owners stuck and scaring off newcomers. And then there's infrastructure. Charging stations and qualified repair shops must keep pace with demand, or owning an EV could become a headache. Imagine hunting for a charging point late at night, or struggling to find a mechanic who knows how to fix your car. For some, that frustration might be enough to stick with gas-powered vehicles. So if BYD and the EV industry as a whole want to keep this momentum alive, they'll need to face these challenges head-on. Quality, repair support, charging networks. Only by building trust can they keep drivers confident and the EV revolution rolling. But here's the kicker. Repairs aren't just a small problem. They can be insanely expensive. Sometimes, fixing an EV costs almost as much as the car itself. Take Tesla as an example. When one gets into a serious accident, insurance companies often decide it's cheaper to call it a total loss than to attempt a repair. Why? Because EVs aren't simple machines. They're complex systems, packed with advanced features, and above all, dominated by their massive batteries. Damage a battery and the repair bill skyrockets so high that even insurers shake their heads at it. Here's the sting. When an EV gets totaled, the insurance payout often isn't enough to cover the cost of a brand new one, leaving owners frustrated and out of pocket. On top of that, costly repairs can send premiums soaring, or worse, get drivers labeled as high risk. And this isn't just Tesla's headache. Ford, BYD, and nearly every EV maker faces the same dilemma. The high-tech nature of these cars make them a challenge, not only for owners, but for insurers too. Tesla is trying to ease the pressure, opening more service centers and sending out mobile repair units to cut costs and speed up fixes. And more competition among repair providers could help. But there's an even bigger idea on the horizon: open-source software for EVs. Imagine this, manufacturers sharing repair data and tools so independent mechanics, the neighborhood shops you already know and trust, can finally work on EVs. Right now, many can't because the software and diagnostics are locked down by car makers. Opening it up, with the help of new laws, could level the playing field. It would give small shops a fighting chance against the big dealer repair centers, and give drivers like you more affordable options. This is the heart of the growing Right to Repair movement, a campaign calling for laws that guarantee mechanics and even car owners access to the information they need. Easier repairs, lower costs, and confidence that owning an EV won't break the bank. Because here's the truth, if the industry doesn't solve repair and insurance challenges, customers may lose faith, and without trust, the green revolution slows. But if they get it right, EVs could move from being the car of the future to the car for everyone. So, what do you think? Should automakers unlock their systems to make EVs easier and cheaper to repair? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss the latest in tech and auto trends. Until next time, drive electric, stay curious, and keep the conversation rolling.